Hey, so I thought I would take just a minute to talk about anemone. I have most of my anemone already planted outside. Um, they do really well in about a zone 7 and up. We're a zone 6, so because of that, I have to put some kind of protection over them during the winter. So right now I'm using frost cloth, and in the past I have used like a greenhouse plastic over them. I leave them in the ground year round. If you're not going to cover them, then you might want to dig them up and store them. But I found that it's worth it to me to only have to plant them once and put that cover over them, and not to have to dig them back up every year. So I've got, I want to say, over 200 in the ground right now. There were some that came late, and so I wasn't able to get them in the ground before winter. So the one that came late were the Bordeaux anemone. Right now I have the decaying white, decaying blue, and I think I have a pastel mix, and I bought the new albino version that came out this year that's really, really pretty. It's got a green center instead of that traditional black center. So I'm really excited about these. These we start a little differently, and you're gonna get different directions depending on who you ask and on who sells them to you. These say to soak them. Normally with anemone, you're gonna soak them for about 3 hours, and then you're gonna plant them in a mix to get them to sprout, and then you put them in the ground. So for me, I don't like to have to soak anything if I can help it. So I'm just going to fill this tray right here with dirt. I'm not going to use a seed mix. I'm going to use a growing mix. So I'll put the growing mix in this tray, and I'll make sure it's got plenty of water in there. And then I'm going to just throw these in here. I have about 60 that I'm just going to put in this one tray. And then hopefully we'll have a good enough weather where I can run out. We're almost to February, and I will stick these directly into the ground. I won't keep them in my seed room at all. Like I said, I have cover over my anemone that are out there already, and I checked on them just the other day, and they are sprouting. So I'm hoping to get these in the ground next week. This week's we're in the teens, so I probably don't want to go out there and do it this week. But next week we have some 50-degree, 60-degree days. So I'm going to run these out under that cover and pop them in the ground, and hopefully they will come up at the same time as my other anemone. So I get a cutting off of my anemone in the spring and in the fall. So, and they last a good 2-3 weeks on both ends. And then as soon as things, we get a frost and they die back, I will cover them probably in November, December, just depending on when it gets cold. So these can last in the ground down to something like 26 degrees, 28 degrees. So they really don't need that cover until you're getting some pretty good frost. So keep that in mind. Okay, here's my growing mix that I have watered down so it's pretty damp. And I'm just going to take these anemone corms. They look like this. Don't worry about which side is up and which side is down. We're just going to pour these in here. Okay, I'm going to kind of evenly space these out across the soil. Okay, I'm going to take these and I'm going to cover them over with about 2 inches of soil. Okay, here is the final product. I've got them about 2 inches down, and I've got about 2 inches of soil under them and 2 inches of soil above them. They are not going to stay in here, so I don't have to worry about the space, and I don't have to worry about the soil. I just have to get them sprouting, and then I can take them out hopefully next week and put them straight in the ground.